People are tired of sitting at home. Amidst this lockdown, staying at home, working from remote, everyone has this question on their mind. When will this corona pandemic end? How will it end? When will it end? What kind of an effect it may have on the economy? In this episode on the NRI Money Clinic, I am going to discuss all these points and try to bring an answer for you all. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakantha, Bhat, investment consultant and a financial planner.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, first things first, let's find out when will this corona pandemic may end. For this pandemic to end, the virus should not find any host to survive and spread this disease. How will this be achieved? This is a novel virus and there is no history of this virus prior to this. So every person whom the virus attacks is a host. Now logically thinking, if every person who gets affected by this virus, if he dies, the virus also dies with him. But luckily for us, the good news is that this virus disease is a very mild form of disease. In more than 80% of the people where this coronavirus affects, people may or may not know that they have suffered from coronavirus itself. It's only a small fraction of people who get this coronavirus disease require hospitalization, and even people who go into hospitals, very small fraction of people really get into the critical stage of this disease. That's the good news. But when people recover from this coronavirus, they develop immunity and they will not succumb to this disease once again. So they will become hurdles for this virus to spread further in the society. So when more and more people suffer from coronavirus, there are more and more people who have immunity to this disease and they will not allow this virus to spread from one person to the other person. So what if this disease is allowed to spread in the society, so that quickly more and more people develop immunity and we are able to control this once for all. This was debated, but this is not a suitable solution for the simple reason that we will not be able to control the numbers. Let's see what happens if you allow the disease to run freely in the society. Now let us look at from an Indian perspective. We have a population of about 130 crores. Forget about disease spreading to each and everyone. Let's look at what happens if the disease spreads in the 10% of the population. That means about 13 crore people get affected with coronavirus. Let's assume 90% of these people will pass without any complications or needing hospitalization. Even then, that 10% of the 13 crore, that means about 1.3 crore people will require hospitalization. Out of this 1.3 crore people who gets into hospital, let's assume the mortality to be just about 3%. Even that gives rise to about 4 lakh people dying. This kind of a mortality just cannot be an acceptable solution. Our hospitals cannot cater to so many patients at all. We will not be having so many doctors, nurses, infrastructure to treat all these people. So the very concept of allowing the disease to spread and create an immunity called herd immunity to prevent this virus is not a feasible solution at this point of time. So if creating a natural herd immunity is not a solution for stopping this pandemic, what is the alternative? The alternative is creating an artificial herd immunity. To create an artificial herd immunity, you have to vaccinate the population against this coronavirus. Now the problem is, yes, our scientists can develop a vaccine for this, but vaccine cannot be produced at will. It has to go through certain tests, it has to be approved, and several tests have to be done on this. It takes about anywhere between 12 to 18 months for the first batch of vaccine to come out. So in the interim, there is a huge risk of a great amount of people in the population will suffer from coronavirus and it may go out of hand. So how to solve this particular problem? Herd immunity can't be worked out. Artificial immunity to create in the population would take time. Then how do we solve this puzzle? The answer lies in the lockdown, what you are seeing now. What does it do? Will it kill the virus? Yes, to a certain extent, but it will not totally prevent virus from spreading from one person to the other person. It's practically impossible to create 100% lockdown. See, health officials have to work. The essential services have to work. Grocery stores have to work. The electricity, water supply, and the basic required transportation workers, security staff, all these people have to be out in the field. So it's not possible to create a 100% lockdown kind of a situation. But when you put more people into the lockdown, the spread of the virus gets slowed down. As a result, more and more people will get this coronavirus very, very slowly, and our hospitals and the health infrastructure will be able to cope up with the whole influx of patients who might come down with this coronavirus. It will give time for everybody to prepare for the extra patients who will come into the hospitals. See, for example, extra masks have to be prepared, you need more ventilators, you need to empty the wards, you need to postpone the unwanted surgeries and the other things. This will give time for the administration to prepare for the number of patients who will come into this hospital. This slows down the spread of coronavirus, but it will not take it out from the system. Now, luckily for us, coronavirus is a heat sensitive virus. Most of the damage of this coronavirus is felt in temperate climate zone where the temperatures were below 15 degrees centigrade. Luckily for us, the summer has started. The temperatures in India are rising at the moment. So a rising temperature is not very conducive for the virus to thrive in the open environment. Plus, the effects of lockdown has slowed down the spread of the virus. Post this summer, we also have rainy season. We expect the virus to be washed away as well, and we can expect the spread of virus to slow down drastically in the Indian subcontinent. So what do we expect going forward from here? Will the lockdown end in 21 days? I do not know the answer. The most possible answer that I can think of is yes, by 21 days the lockdown may end, or it may get extended for another 1 week or 2 weeks, or there could be a relaxation in lockdown, and after that the government will watch how the disease is spreading, is it coming under control, and if it sees again that the coronavirus disease numbers are rising, it may go for one more lockdown. So till this disease comes to control, we may expect the lockdowns to come on and off once in a while, or maybe it could be a life which is normal, except that there will not be gatherings like political meetings, religious meetings, weddings, corporate events and kind of a thing, and the day-to-day normal works may continue as usual. Once we have the vaccine in place, then we can expect this disease to go down subsequently. But there is one tricky problem to this whole disease. Coronavirus is a mutating virus. What if it mutates by the time the vaccine comes in? Then we have a problem again back in our doors. Now the crucial issue is how does it affect the economy? Controlling the disease and everything is left to scientists, doctors, nurses and all the people who are concerned with controlling of this disease. What happens to the economy? Let's try and find some answers in this. One thing that we have to understand is this corona disease is a disruption. It is not a destruction for most of the economy. Now, what do I mean by this? It creates disruption but not destruction. Now, if there were to be a war, it creates destruction. Places get bombed, the ships or the dockyards may get bombed, industries may get bombed, so it results in a destruction. If there were to be a natural calamity, let's say that there is a massive earthquake and it brings down the building, it results in destruction. Coronavirus does not create destruction in that way. It is a disruption. It is not allowing the economy to work in a normal way. Yes, it creates demand destruction in some industries. For example, airlines industry, hotel industry, transport industry, restaurants and all these places, it creates a demand destruction for a while. But for most other industries, be it the automobiles, be it the banking or any of these things, it will not create a permanent destruction of demand. See, once the situation normalizes, the projects which were held back will be taken up again. People who postpone their buying the vehicles, they'll come back and buy the vehicles. Infrastructure works that were going on will start again. So all these activities will run normally once this disease issue is behind us. The real problem of this coronavirus is on the daily wage laborers. They may not have the sufficient means to have a day-to-day living. That is where the government is intervening, transferring cash to them or giving them the grains to live on and trying to reduce the difficulties of these people. The real problem of this coronavirus disease is felt at the government's revenue level. Because of a slowdown in economic activity, government's tax collection will go down. But government is responsible to take care of its population, but it has to spend more and more money. That is where if this disease prolongs for a longer period of time, government may have to do deficit financing for the needy section of the society. It may result in inflation going forward, but if it is a short duration problem, let's say if it lasts for about 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, it may not even create much of a perceptible difference in the economy in the long run. So as investors, what should we be doing? Should we be worried about this market crash? Should we sell? Should we buy? What should we be doing? Market crashes are God-sent opportunities for you to buy these assets at such low prices. Remember, this crash is not permanent. It is temporary. As I said, it's not creating any asset destruction. It is just a disruption. Once thing normalizes, everything is back to normal. Remember, stock markets will not start rising when everything is fine. No. When stock market gets the news that they have found a vaccine for this, they have found a remedy in the form of medicine, or the disease itself has gone away due to temperature or whatever the reason, the stock market will suddenly start jumping. So all that you have to do is not to panic, not to sell, and if your liquidity permits, if you have cash on the sidelines, it's time to buy your favorite stocks. It's time for you to put more money into your mutual fund portfolio. So dear viewers, if you like the topic that I discussed today, please press the like button. If you have not yet subscribed for this channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and relatives. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I'll be back with you with one more video very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.